This video is sponsored by Deep Cut Studios. For a wide range of fantastic gaming resources such as battle mats, dice trays and pre-painted bases, check out the description below.
Hi guys, welcome back to TNG Productions. My name is Tom.
My name is Ian.
Welcome back for some Walking Dead All Out War. And I apologise for my voice, I've got a little bit of man flu at the moment I'm battling through. But Ian is back again to play another custom scenario.
Very excited.
We were sipping in the English summertime, a little bit of pina colada outside, you know, loving it up, and then kind of thought we could make up another scenario.
Yeah, and I think we've done a really good job on it as well.
What's this one called?
This one is called Babysitting.
I will explain the scenario in a second, but it's basically the concept is we've got to escort a child across a war-torn battlefield. They might be the saviours of humanity, they might have the cure, they might just be an important kid, we don't know.
You might just want to look after them, who knows?
Yeah, but with your posse, so we've got the saviours, so clearly not, versus Rick, Carl and Dale.
Yeah,
So
I'd rather have my kid with your guys, I think, to be
that
honest.
green family environment that you like using as well doesn't work well. So we'll go to the lineups, we'll show you who we've got in a sec.
Okay, here are our two war bands for today's battle report. 250 points. They're weird lineups because basically we're trying to work our way through the models we don't usually use on the channel.
We are. Have any of these been used before on the channel?
I think
except Patrick.
We've had Negan and Patrick, but realistically we want to use the other half of the saviours, and there's only Dwight that we need to base up so he's ready to go. So you've got Sherry and you've got Laura. Patrick's just subbing in as a saviour, isn't he?
He is. Well, he can go, you know, he's just a general villain, isn't he?
I've got the old event exclusive Dale Prison Advisor miniature because he's just a beautiful mini, and we've gone with the Defiant Son Carl Grimes and the disfigured but determined Rick, just so we've got them. Also, it's been a while since we've had the lucky hat and it needs to come on. Now, I'll start with my crew. Obviously, Clementine and Sophia there will explain what their purpose is. They're not technically part of these crews, they're part of the objectives of the game. So Dale has got a felling axe. We tried to go as WYSIWYG as we could. Dale's the only one who doesn't have a weapon in his hand. And he's got his prosthetic leg, because of course he does. He's going to need that 6-inch move. He's my leader, so his leader ability means he can basically hijack initiative once per game. Rick, disfigured but determined, obviously only has one hand, so I've given him his Rick's pistol to go with that. He's quite good. Carl is going to be the real troublemaker for me, for many reasons. First of all, he is a Defiant Son.
Yeah.
Secondly, he's got so many rules, so I apologise if I'm so clearly going to forget.
How many special rules are there? 4?
4, but the one that really matters is reckless. So essentially, it's I've got to keep an eye on where he is as opposed to enemy survivors. So if he's within kind of 8 inches, essentially, then he's got to shoot them if he can.
Oh, very nice. Well, for you.
Well, if he can shoot them, he's got to, and then if he's within range, but I'm going to forget that at some point, clearly. But he's got a leather jacket, his lucky hat, he's got an M16 assault rifle with a silencer, so he's basically a gun turret.
Yeah. But he's got the defence for it though as well.
Yeah, I've got the defence for it actually, to be honest. He's not too bad. As opposed to your guys then, you've gone as WYSIWYG, well, you've gone with the Here's Negan kind of line.
Yes, we have, and like you said, just, you know, we've gone for a slightly alternative version of the crew. So we've got Negan in there for 56 points, and of course he's carrying Lucille, because it would be rude not to, wouldn't it? I haven't given him the leather jacket just for points cost more than anything.
Yeah, the 250 was quite a limit for the saviours.
Yeah, it was. Then we've got Sherry in there. I've given her the expenditure of that leather jacket. I've given her a .357 IMI Desert Eagle, which is a really strong handgun. Only range 12, but it adds a blue dice.
Anytime anyone gets a blue dice, they become very nasty.
Absolutely. And I don't want her to run out of ammunition, so she's got an ammo reload. Likewise, Laura has got a natural base of blue shooting, so I have to give her a gun. And she's got an AR-15, which is the most ranged weapon that I've got, 18 inches. Again, ammo reload. And Patrick, WYSIWYG there, he's got his baseball bat with him to protect his child.
Affectionately called Lucy on the channel. So we've got Lucille and Lucy who are in action, the two bats. So we'll explain to you the scenario in a second. You can have a look at this awesome map with the river running through next. Right then, so today's scenario is aptly named Babysitting. And it involves a river crossing board. So our primary objective for this game, mate, is to get our child token, in my case Clem, and in your case is Sophia, off the opposite board edge to the one we deploy. Anywhere within 3 inches of the exact corner of the board. If we both achieve that, the secondary objective is to then have the highest percentage of the original starting force for each faction off the board edge. If we both manage to do that, and we have the same percentage, which I think is impossible anyway. It would then come down to supply tokens, but I don't think either of us are really going to be focusing on supply tokens for this.
That is very much at the bottom of the priority list there, isn't it?
Definitely. The river then is going to play a huge part in this battle. So any model crossing the river moves at half distance for whatever it was trying to do. So sneak actions become 2-inch moves, sprints become 4-inch moves. I think a shamble will be reduced to 3.
Yeah.
The child cannot cross the river, so therefore the model that is holding its hand must go across the bridge, which is represented by the tokens kind of in the middle there. Thank you. Any other model can just go straight across the river, including walkers. It's only the kid that doesn't really want to get its shoes wet. So anyway, speaking of the child token, the third and final thing, they are just tokens. They're not characters in the game. So we're using Sophia and Clem, but realistically you could use anything at home. They can't be shot at, they can't be aimed at, they can't be knocked down, they can't be attacked by walkers. They are just tokens. However, a survivor must be accompanying them. So they've got to hold their hand, for want of a better word. So Dale is starting off with my token, Patrick for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's a good babysitter.
Any model that's holding a child token's hand may sneak as normal, but they can only sprint up to 6 inches because the kids have got little legs and they can't keep up. Should a model not be holding the hand of a child token in the end phase, let's say they've been knocked over or killed, the child will scream, which will create noise. So essentially, protection jobby here of get them across the bridge and get them off the corner and then just try and get as much of the rest of the crew as we can off. 17 walkers, a tightly confined space and a lot of terrain. Have you got any tactics for this?
I do. But whether they'll work or not, who knows? We'll just have to see how it pans out. When there's this many walkers, it's hard to tell, isn't it?
I'll be interested to see how the bad guys deal with their babysitting compared to my good guys. We're just going to drag Sophia along.
We've no models.
Yeah, just Nika just poking her with Lucille. So Ian won the roll off, so the saviours with Patrick will go first. We'll start with turn 1 with them.
Okay, so my first activation with the bad guys is going to be Sherry, who is basically going to run to here because we want to try and clear out a nice path. That, however, is going to bring this walker into contact with her.
Right, super reckless Carl is going to go next. He's near the leader, so he doesn't gain any benefits yet. He's going to sneak for 1, and then he's just going to beat the living daylights out of this walker. So he's going to use his M16, 2 white dice and a red for his shooting. He gets 3.
Walker gets 1.
Walker gets 1, so he will successfully knock the walker prone. Doesn't kill it though, sadly. Now, I've got multiple shots, so I could shoot again. But to be honest, I just wanted the walker either out of commission or on its backside. Because of my silencer, it does make noise rather than mayhem, so that'll pull this walker in just to go and engage Carl.
Okay, so we're going to go with the boss, Negan, who is going to run. And he runs straight to there. We're basically trying to clear out a path, and this brings this walker into him for combat.
Peg leg Dale then for me. Luckily with his prosthetic leg, he can only run up to 6 inches anyway. He's going to take Clem and be like, come with me, child, if you want to live. He's going to bend his run ever so slightly to take her with him. However, it will gain the attention of this half a walker here, which will engage him.
Okay, so the Saviours continuing their progress up the board. We're going to go with Laura this time, who is going to run to here, following Negan. That just attracts the attention of this walker, which is going to get interested in her and try and attack her.
Typical bad guys, you've got a child to protect, so you all just run ahead and leave her with the guy.
Yeah, basically, yes.
Okay, so I almost gave way to my inner demons then very quickly, and I was thinking about shooting Negan with Rick while I had the opportunity, but I'm not. I'm going to take a sprint action just round to this position here, which will pull in this walker, and I think Rick is essentially going to be standing guard for Dale. He's going to be there to kind of protect and be point man. So we'll go to Patrick to round off the turn.
Okay, so for the final activation for us, we've got Patrick. He can only run 6 inches, but he's going to use that 6 inches to come and support his friend, because she is our weakest character in melee.
So he's like, no, I don't want to go.
I know. Well, he's got Sophia with one hand, and he's got his baseball bat with the other one, just to try and bop that walker on the head, I think.
It's incredibly badass. So right, we'll go to the event phase and see what happens next. And here's the picture going into the event phase of turn 1. Everybody is just scrambled forward. You just said off camera that we're probably going to meet each other very quickly next turn.
We are. When we were looking at the scenario, I thought it might be a while until we did, but it could even be as soon as next turn, potentially.
So let's see what the event phase does to us then, mate. Do you want to draw a card?
Yep, taking the one from the top of the pile. Oh, we've actually got my favourite one as well, but I'm sad because we're all quiet. It's +1 to the threat. There's a storm coming. but nothing happens yet.
Is that the one that adds extra cards?
It would have been, yeah.
But we dodge it.
We'd have been drawing 2 more cards, but we're not doing.
So we go to threat level 2, but we have got combat, so we will jump to threat level 3. So we're on the cusp of all quiet going to low threat as we go into the melee phase.
Okay, so for our combat, let's start with Sherry and Patrick, who are up against one walker. Patrick is by far my best character in that combat. He's got base white and red, and then he's got his baseball bat as well, whereas Sherry just gets a base red attack. So let's see how we do. And there we go, that should kill it.
I think you can reroll one of your reds as well, but the walker can't beat that, so that is dead. And I've conveniently, with my dice roll, pushed them an inch away. That was really
Excellent. Efficient. Right, then we've got Laura. Laura's actually not that good in combat considering she's 30 points. She only gets base red. Let's see how she does. She gets 2 with a headshot.
The walker gets 2 with a headshot.
Oh, do you know what? A disappointing waste of a headshot for Laura. That
so a draw, so survivors win the draws.
Yeah, and then we've got Negan, who is obviously by far
Just death incarnate.
amazing. He gets base blue, but then because he's got Lucille, he gets an extra 2 white dice. And he doesn't kill it.
He doesn't kill it. Does he get rerolls?
He doesn't. He can add something else
if he gets a headshot.
But he's not.
He does still beat the walker. The 2 with the bite doesn't do anything to him, so he will be able to push it away and knock it prone. Right then, we'll go over to my gang. Okay then, so Carl Grimes has got a measly red dice against this walker here.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
He gets nothing.
He's not fine.
Do I use my leather jacket early? No, I won't. I'll take the 1 damage to him, which unfortunately...
1 damage is survivable, isn't it?
Knocks him down. Famous last words. He's got all of the gear in the world for me. Look, he's got the lucky hat though, so he cares not. Rick has got a walker to fight here. Rick himself has only got 1 red dice on his melee. He could defend. To be honest, Carl could have defended as well, actually. I might... No, I'll risk it for now. Famous last words again.
Yeah.
1, 2 with a bite. So take a point of damage. And I'm bitten. Oh dear. Bad choices of actions here. Puts Rick down to 5 health. Dale, though, can make it up for everybody because he's got 3 white dice because of his felling axe. So he's against the walker. You get 1. I get 3. So it doesn't kill it, but comfortably pushes it away and knocks it down. I am really not impressed with that. You've rolled very well.
That's a bad start.
For the sake of doing it on camera, I'll do Rick's bite now. So a shield is okay, a blank he's not. Oh, for God's sake. He's on 4 health now. As I've got initiative going into the next one, I'll just push Rick away actually as well. And here's the picture at the end of the first turn, and yeah, I've sustained some damage there. That's not great. Luckily, the walker stayed down on my side. The one next to Negan did stand up. So this is probably going to be where we see the 2 sides clash here definitely. In terms of getting stuck into each other. So we will go to the first activation of turn 2, which will be Dale, Rick, and Carl. Do you ever get that feeling when you play the game that when you've taken a bite, basically, you're just like, I'm just going to go hell high water? Yes. So Rick's going to do that. He's going to sneak to as close to base contact with this prone walker without being in base contact with it. And he's just going to shoot at Negan.
Yeah.
So he's got his handgun, which has got armor piercing, which takes away a dice of your choice. You would get the white to go with your blue.
Yeah.
I imagine you're going to discard the white.
Oh, obviously, yeah, absolutely.
And I've got 2 blue dice on this shot.
Take some damage
so that is quite a lot. That's 5 with the headshot afterwards.
That's 2 there.
So 2, so that would be 3, then 4 because of the headshot. So 4 points of damage.
1, 2, 3. That takes him down to 2 health.
I do need to make an ammo check for Rick. He's fine. However, we have now got Mayhem, so that will push us into low threat, level 4. Now Mayhem, if I put our 10-inch widget here, will affect basically every walker in this vicinity.
Lovely.
It is going to really mess Dale up because it's going to tie him up in combat. So basically, this walker will crack into there.
Yep.
This walker will crack into there. Let's get our shamble markers. This walker here, well, this one's going to go into Rick, obviously. This walker will go on the opposite side of him there. Ronnie Walker will crack into there, but unfortunately, this one will just move our child token around. Will go into Dale, so it has tied Dale up for another turn. However, it has put a time limit on Negan's life with Carl still left to go with his hatred of saviours.
See, I'm thinking, do I try and find some bandages now in the supplies?
That's a good shout, to be honest. So yeah, +1 there. But Rick has now done something. Now, if he dies, then I can kind of accept
He's not
that.
died in vain, has he?
No, so we'll go over to you.
Okay, so food for thought at this stage then. I'm thinking of activating Patrick at this stage just because if any of these move out from behind here, Carl gets an extra bonus dice for shooting saviours and Tom has to activate him next. Yeah. So let's go with Patrick to sneak behind the lamppost, and he's obviously taking Sophia, the child token, with him.
So yeah, I'm going to have to shoot some saviours now, aren't I?
I don't blame you, to be fair.
Right, so the decision here was whether to go for Sherry or Laura. Laura's got a long-range weapon, so Carl is going to sneak to this position here. Again, no bonuses yet because he's still quite close to the leader of the faction, which is Dale. So he is not within 8 inches of an enemy survivor, so he can just behave relatively normally at this stage. He is going to try and shoot at Laura along this line here. Now, you do benefit from hard cover.
Absolutely.
So you've got 2 white dice in your defence, but I get an extra red dice because you are a saviour. So I've got 2 red and 2 whites looking here to go for the shot. So just smash the cover down with that. But that's
a good roll.
3, 4, 5, 6, and then the headshot afterwards.
Oh.
With the 2, so that's 4 damage.
I know, that's Laura gone.
So that will kill her, which I'm more than happy with that. That'll do.
Oh dear.
It is a multiple shots weapon. So I'm going to check my ammo first. Let's do that just in case. So Carl has ran out of ammo, unfortunately. I don't have an ammo supply crate, so my logic would have then been to try and shoot at Sherry.
Yeah, could you imagine if you'd taken 2 out?
That would have been really good. But unfortunately, he has made noise because the silencer doesn't mute it completely, which pulls in Ronnie Walker there. But that is a kill on the board, which I think might even things with Rick about to get munched by walkers.
Okay, so I'm going to activate the boss first of all. I can't believe he's taking so much damage because that is crippling. 4 damage he's taken.
Rick really wanted him away.
He did. But then again, he's got a lot of adrenaline because he's just been bitten, hasn't he?
Yeah, to be fair.
Yeah. So Negan is just going to creep to this side here of the thing and he's going to search. And when we search, take him from the top of the deck, we get bandages. That's exactly what we wanted.
You'd literally just be saying off camera, I really hope this is good.
Well, if it had been something bad like a lurker, that could have potentially been the end, couldn't it?
But at least next turn you can heal now.
Yeah, absolutely. Bandages is exactly what I wanted to get. For the next activation, well, obviously I've only got Sherry left now. So if I just get a creep template, she's just going to slowly make some progress up the board.
Do some more sneaky business.
Yeah.
To be fair, you're getting far closer to the bridge and stuff than I am.
Well, you see, my logic here is if I went too quickly, the walkers might come towards me, and you've got more of a cluster than me. And I'm quite happy for that to remain the case.
Yeah, I'm quite worried about the situation that I'm in now. We'll go to the event phase then and see what happens. And here's how things look as we go into the turn 2 event phase. So we've got a walker that's just moved into Negan. Apart from that, it's just me who's stuck in combat this turn, so I'm hoping I get some better rolls this time around. Event card then.
Yep, so taking from the top of the deck, we get +2 to the threat and the Walking Dead. Getting some extra walkers on the board. We've got 2 white dice worth of walkers entering play, and then they all move towards the nearest survivor.
So we're up to 6 on the threat tracker. I'm play with initiative, so 2 white dice. Nothing, no walkers.
No, I'm actually quite pleased about that because you had initiative.
That is a good time for a bad dice roll.
It is.
We do get +1 to the threat again, so there will be combat, which will take us up to level 7. And we will go to the melee phase and we'll start with my absolute mess of carnage. Starting with my crew then, Carl is going to go first. He's going to defend this time against Ronnie Walker.
That's not a bad decision.
So 2 red dice on his defence. He rolls 2. Walker rolls 1, yep. So I'm just going to shove him there. Dale with his 3 white dice.
I think Dale will be fine.
Yeah, he smushes it. It doesn't kill it, but he does manage to chuck it away and knock it prone. Rick is a difficult decision. He's got 3 red dice coming his way, so he is going to defend, I believe. So white and a red dice on his defence. 1. Oh dear. Oh,
that's only 1.
Right.
That's good.
So survivors win all draws. So he manages to shove them away. We should do it in the end phase, but just for the sake of this, I'm just going to check Rick's bite now, just to keep it on track. So shield is okay. He's alright, he stays on 4 HP, and we'll go and see how Negan does.
Okay, so Negan is going to try and Lucille his second walker of the game, and when he rolls, he Lucille's it,
yeah, I'm not going to roll
Perfect.
anything there. That's absolutely butchered, that walker. So we'll head over to the end phase for the turn. And this is how things look at the end of the melee phase for turn 2. And all of the walkers have stood back up, so I've got that cluster is still nearby. Not being able to kill them by defending is going to be an issue. So we're heading towards the river's edge.
We are.
We're not quite there yet. You're far more advanced along the line than I am.
I think in terms of actual position on the board, I'm in the better position. But whether that's going to be the case after the next turn, I'm not sure.
I think I'm going to have to pull a swift one here, mate. I am going to trigger my leader ability, which is mind games. Dale's got the ability to steal initiative from the opposing player. So you would have initiative here, and Negan would just walk in and make noise and just ruin my day, or anyone would. So I'm going to go first as we go into turn 3 and see if I can work out something janky. So we go to the first activation of turn 3, which is going to be my filthy cheaters. Alright, we've planned something devious here. Rick is going to go next. He's going to continue his kind of just YOLOing through this situation. He is going to sprint to this position here, which will make noise.
Yep.
The nearest walker is kind of basically between these two, actually, isn't it? I think it might actually even be Ronnie Walker, who will essentially move and clatter into that there. He's then going to declare a shot at Patrick. Now, I've got my free choice of people to shoot here, but I think
I'm in a line for you here.
if I can spike Patrick and make you drop Sophia, then suddenly that means you've got to slow down your turn.
Well, I'll have to go back essentially with one of the other characters.
And also we've done a lot of measuring here, and the way this mayhem will go down will actually benefit me in the long run. It'll tie up Negan, and it will not affect my 2. So, I'm going to shoot at Patrick with my armour-piercing handgun, because unfortunately Carl's run out of ammo, so he can't carry the team with this. So I've got 2 blue dice. You've got 2 red on the defence, but I can force you to discard one, so you've got one armour-piercing, so you've got 1 red dice. Obviously, within range, 10 inches. So I'm going to go 2 blue dice. Let's see if we can roll high. We get 4 there.
Oh,
Nothing.
no.
Oh, he's got 4 HP, hasn't he?
He has. Well, he did have anyway. He's not anymore.
Unfortunately killed Patrick. That was a hell of a calculated risk that paid off there. It wasn't the best. So that will cause mayhem, which will push the threat up to 8. Right, we'll work all this out now. So the mayhem will affect pretty much everybody. So we're now going to see the effects of the water coming into play as well. So let's start with the obvious ones. Ronnie Walker will shamble to here. This Walker will also shamble into base with Rick. So that's basically ruins Rick's day.
It has really, hasn't it?
This Walker will go to here. This one, Rick is dead essentially, but he's going out swinging.
He is going out swinging.
This one will clatter into here, and this one will basically move down and clatter into here. This little lady here is not technically in the water, so she will basically go and hit this bit.
Have you got this one as well?
This Walker will go into here. Now, the more important ones, this Walker will shamble basically along here and tie up Negan, which is super awesome. We've talked about this Walker. This one can actually go across the bridge. Yep. So she'll actually be able to get in combat with Rick as well. So I'm just going to put her there. It will also get the attention of the 2 Walkers on the other side of the shore. However, they've got to cross the water. So their move will become 3 inches. Yep. So essentially, Johnny Rotten is going to go diagonally to there. And this Walker here will basically go diagonally to there. So Rick
what an activation that was.
Crazy, but the important thing is Rick has now stodged up the middle of the field where the bridge is. Now that's not great with me with Dale and Clem, but it is great in the sense of it's going to cause some level of trouble. I genuinely don't think we're even going to get to the corners of the battlefield with this one. But we'll go to your activation next, mate, where you pick up the kid.
Okay, so I'm going to go with Sherry. Now, obviously the temptation is to go and pick up the child because she's going to be
That's the right thing to do for this scenario.
If I was being moral and if I was playing with the greens like I normally do, I probably would do, but I'm the bad guys, and the bad guys are meant to do nasty things. So instead, Sherry's going to run to here. She's going to be in contact with it, so she can basically lean over it with a gun, and she's going to take a shot at Dale because he's carrying the kid.
Yeah, so we don't get the cover because you're leaning over it, and you've got armour piercing, so I'm down to 1 red dice on my defence.
So she actually gets base white dice for the shot, and like you say, the gun is armour piercing, but it also gives her a blue dice as well, which is really nice. So if we see what she rolls with a shot, she rolls 3.
3. Dale gets nothing, so he would take 3 damage. I'm going to take the damage for now. I could use the prosthetic leg to take blue off, but I think I'm pretty chill with being on 2 health. You do create mayhem though,
I know,
which pushes us up into medium threat now. That's going to affect all manner of stuff. We'll get the token. You've got this walker's going to go and tie up your child token here. We did measure before, this walker here will tie up Carl. In terms of everything else, I think it's pretty straightforward. This walker's going to clatter into here. These two will as well. Now the issue you've got, if I remember the rules correctly, quote me if I'm wrong in the comments, if you've got walkers who are engaged with
the
barrier, you count as being in combat with them. This one will go towards an engaged Negan.
He'll be fine with that. He could kill too.
This one will probably get to the other edge of the river now. Johnny Rotten's just out. This walker is in, so she will shamble around to there. There's a good chance here if the combat goes badly, you could potentially lose your crew.
Well, Negan's not going to die from 2 famous last words, but I think he'll be fine, so we'll see what happens.
I'm going to try and sneak around with Dale and see if I can avoid the carnage though. Dale's just horrified at the situation. He's like, just Clementine's hand is just shaking next to him. So he's just going to be like, come with me if you want to live, essentially, and just sprint to this position here. 6-inch sprint because he's on his peg leg and he's got the child with him. It does make noise, which will call the attention of this walker. So as long as I don't roll a bucket of nothing on my 3 combat dice,
I think it'll be fine.
I should be relatively okay. Deliberately staying outside of 2 inches of Johnny Rotten so I don't get smushed there. And yeah, that's all our activations because Carl and Negan are
tied up.
Very much tied up in combat. So we'll go to the event phase and see if that can ruin our day too. Okay, on to the event phase then, and this is going to be very, very painful. So what have we drawn, mate?
Okay, so taking from the top of the deck, we get +1 to the threat, takes us to 10, and we are in Drawn to Chaos. And that means that white dice walkers enter play, but from each table edge.
That's it. So I've got initiative again, actually. So I'll roll the dice. 2 walkers.
So, walkers.
So we will position those, and we will be back in a second. And we've cut back, and I was being a gentleman to start with this placement, and then Ian just decided to screw me. That's one thing we're going to have to change in the rules.
The bad guys!
You've put walkers within my escape zone, which I'm going to clearly put a revision to the rules saying you can't do that, because now there's like 4 walkers that I've got to get by. Yeah, it's not great at all. We have got combats, we'll go +1 on the threat again, which will take us into 11.
It does.
I think realistically now, last turn you looked like you were going to get over the bridge. Now I think Dale's got the best chance.
Yeah, you see, I'm worried because of the way the combats come out, actually. I'm not happy with that whatsoever, so...
Well, what I'm going to do is, because I've got initiative, I'm going to decide for you to go first in the combat, so then I can decide what's going to happen in terms of me needing to shoot or not.
Crafty decision.
We'll go over to the saviours first.
So I've been weighing up decisions here, whether or not it was worth shooting, but what I'm very conscious of is, if she doesn't kill anything, she could end up with potentially 5 walkers around her. So what we're going to do instead is just roll our regular red dice for melee, which comes out as a 1. Which
the walkers are rolling 6 dice, so...
This doesn't look good.
Let's see. Oh, they've not rolled great. They've rolled 3, so that's 2. She's
she
alive.
actually survives.
How the hell?
I will take that all day long.
So she would get pushed, but she's in cover, so we'll just do that to chuck them away. Negan then.
Okay, come on, boss. Let's see how he does.
3 red dice going against him on his 2 health that he's currently on.
Yep, here he goes.
He's got a fair bit of damage. He's basically pushed them both away and knocked them down, hasn't he, essentially, with those. So we'll just nudge these here. That could have gone so much worse.
It could have gone a lot worse. I'm really pleased with how that came out.
That's really good. Right, we'll go to mine and now we'll watch it go way worse. Right, Rick's got himself in a sticky situation here. He's going to defend against the 6 walker dice that are coming towards him.
So here they come. That is defendable against.
That's 5. He's got a white and a red on his defence. He gets 1. That's 4 points of damage. That's enough to kill him.
Oh, poor Rick.
That's the exact amount needed to kill him, so he's bopped there. Carl just in the corner here. He's going to defend as well with his 2 red dice. So, let's see how he does. Got 1. Nothing.
Oh, this is bad.
That's another point of damage. That puts him down to 3. I mean, I could use the leather jacket, but that is really... That's
you
when
want to save that when you're surrounded, don't you?
Dale has got 1 walker to deal with his 3 white dice.
Dale will be laughing. Blank.
Yeah, it doesn't kill it again though, but manages to shove it away.
He's only got 1 leg, what do you expect?
And knock it down. You should just take the leg off and start bludgeoning them with it. So that's not too bad of a situation. It's not great. And now, unfortunately, I don't have the initiative now. It will be passed on to you, so I think you've got a real opportunity here. So we're
I do.
Go to the end phase, see if the walkers stand up, and cut back in a second. Okay, here we are in the end phase for the third turn, I believe we're on, and we get to see the new mechanic. So the child has been left unguarded.
Yeah. And she's going to scream, help me!
So she will make noise. We played with it being mayhem and it was just chaos.
Yeah.
And you could cheat the rules. So nearest walker will move towards her.
Which one do you want to be the nearest? This one, this one?
Go with her, that'll be fine. Either one, mate. Most of the walkers are still back up nearby to your guys. There's only the one near Dale which hasn't, which is not too bad. You do have initiative going into this round.
I do, but Sherry's now going to start panicking because obviously she's only low nerve, which is tricky.
Yeah, let's just hope she goes berserk. That'd be great.
That's what I wanted to do.
So we'll go to the first activation of turn 4, which will be the Saviours.
Okay, so I'm going to go with Negan. He's still basically pouring with blood after Rick shot him and I've done nothing about it since. So I'm going to spend the bandages that he found to heal up, which takes him to 3 health, which is half of what he'd start with. And then he's going to be the one that goes and gets Sophia, basically, or he's going to start to anyway.
He's very happy that Carl's got no ammo, because realistically he's quite secure with that.
Yeah. So he's going to move 2 inches to there, and then he's got another 6 with his run, and that's 6.
He can basically tag the child token. He doesn't have to stop on it, so he can probably get there and then another inch or so to play with.
So we'll do that to pick her up, and then there she is, and then the nearest walker. Are you happy with this one, Tom?
Yeah.
There it goes.
It's probably the most sound move to do. The good thing with the child token is we thought we could do you have to spend an action to go and hold her hand. It's stupid, because you would run past them and just grab them as you go.
Come on, let's go!
Right, speaking of child tokens, let's see if Dale can get Clem onto the bridge. Onto Dale then, he's got a 6-inch sprint still while he's running on this peg leg. He's not feeling particularly well at the moment. He is essentially just going to make a sprint action of 6 inches.
Yep.
Following the shoreline, taking Clem with him. It will make noise, which will pull this walker, we've checked, into base contact with him.
Okay, so with Sherry, there's been lots of options on the table here because she's really got a really good gun, which can cause quite a lot of damage.
Is that blue dice? As soon as you give someone blue dice, is she going to freak out, though, is the question?
Oh, that is the point. So let's see you roll the panic dice and see what happens to her. And she gets run.
Right,
Ooh.
so flee, run 8 inches in a straight line directly away from the nearest enemy, take no further actions.
So,
the nearest enemy is like these 3.
Yeah, I would say so. So is that going to be...
She's going to run to the bridge.
She is.
I think she's just going to sprint to the bridge.
See, that was one of the things I was weighing up doing anyway. But if she was to do that, she's just going to engage with that walker,
She will, so she's going to have to sprint over to there.
Right. But then that's causing noise, which... That one or that one?
Probably this one just here, mate, I think.
Yeah.
It says take no further action. That's going to do weird things to the combat.
It is. Well, will that split it up into Dale v1 and her v1?
Yes, because you have to prioritise the walkers. So we'll see what Carl does, and we'll go to that next. Lucky Carl for me then, he is just going to sprint over to the very cusp of the river, just so he doesn't take the movement reduction. He will gain the attention of Johnny Rotten, but it means that next turn I could sprint across the river at the half move. I don't have to worry about the bridge.
And it's going to be good because he's going to be a bodyguard really for Dale, isn't he?
Essentially, if you can get some blooming ammo for his guns, but that's the thing, I'm quite terrified of going for either of these counters with Dale, just in case there's a grenade or a lurker and they finishes the job.
But I wanted bandages and got them, so
if I wish hard enough.
because that's what I'd been doing off camera. I'd been saying, please give me bandages, and they came up.
Speaking of wishes, we'll sort the melee zones, we'll see what the event phase has in store for us next. Right then, on to the event phase for this turn, and a little bit terrified here. So what are we drawing?
Yep, so taking from the top of the deck, we get +1 to the threat and Pandemonium, first time it's come up today.
That puts us on 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 at the moment.
Fantastic. Well, is that medium threat still?
Still, we're nearing high threat.
Super. Now, this can be a game changer. It says each player rolls 2 blue dice and moves that many eligible walkers in a direction of their choice. And then... blue dice walkers enter play.
Oh, right. So I've got 2 blue. You've got initiative here, but I get to move 4 eligible
walkers and
4 as well. And then do you want to roll the blue for the amount that enter play afterwards?
Yes. So then coming on is 1.
Okay, so we'll both move 4 walkers and then bring 1 on, and we will cut back in a second. Oh, and that's changed so much now.
It has.
We've moved so many walkers around. It's put
8.
Negan and Sherry in a really bad place. Once we had moved 2 each, essentially to tie people up, it became a case of what we were doing with deployment zones.
Yeah.
And I basically put 2 walkers in the water of the river so I can try and clear a path, and you've tried to block the most shallow path for Dale to get to the corner, which is a good idea, I think. It's a smart move. I've got at least 2 activations to get to the corner.
Yeah, and Walker Shane's just come on as well.
Walker Shane, he's just came back. You know, we got Rick out to start with. We were like, how was the walker teleported?
So we've got Walker Shane on.
So we have got combat, which pushes us to the very cusp of medium threat, which is going to affect Carl next turn if we get into high as well.
Clock's ticking with that now, though, isn't it?
It definitely is. So you've got initiative, so we'll go with your guys first if you want me.
Okay, so we're going to start with Negan. He is up to 3 wounds, which when he's got 3 walkers around him is going to be quite helpful because I can't see him getting through this unscathed. With Lucille, he rolls 3.
Walkers are rolling 6 dice here.
Oh, that's a lot of dice.
So
he might get bitten here.
They get 4 damage.
I've taken that,
so he takes
to be honest.
a point of damage. My poor dice rolling is continuing here.
It is. I've never known you to roll so poorly, Tom.
I'm sure viewers of the channel will cite bad times, but anytime Carl wanted to get over in the RV. Right then, who do you want to go next?
Right, I'm going to go with Sherry next, and she's actually going to shoot her eagle gun. Just because basically we've actually checked it out and she can't get into a worse position.
I have no idea how this works when you're shooting walkers in combat because like when there's multiple of them, so you take a defense dice away.
Yeah.
Do you declare one walker you shoot at?
I don't know.
Okay, roll it, see what you do.
Yeah, let's see what we get.
It doesn't really matter to be honest, it's going to cause mayhem, she'll have a bad day either way.
She gets base white and she gets blue dice as well. So she gets 1 headshot, so she kills 1.
Yeah, so murder's 1, we'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll do the one below pro.
I think that's absolutely fine. I think
and then the other one's still standing.
People can tell us if they need to. You got spend that time talking. So it will cause mayhem though, which pluses the threat up into high threat now.
Here we go.
Walkers then. So this one will try and cross the water, get to about there.
Yep.
This one will hit the barricade. It will pull these walkers back into Negan.
Oh, here we go again.
So
boys.
I think Negan is pinned.
If I'd thought I would have done that one first.
These ones will go across the water, so they'll basically do that.
Yeah.
There are some walkers that are further back. So it's a weird situation actually like this, because I think you're not supposed to be able to be tied up in the end of the combat phase, but I imagine
Will this
it makes the
walker
noise.
also shamble into the thing for making a direct line for it?
Well, that one there will go into the combat, won't it? Because they just join in. So this one will actually basically just do that, I believe. So many rules questions, so many issues. That one will shuffle there. You happy with that one shuffling in, or do you want to get stuck there?
Yeah, but I think this one's going to move into there.
Oh, good shout, yeah.
There we go. Lovely.
I think that's everybody, right? She's still got to fight. She can defend now, can't she?
Well, she is, but she gets no bonus for that, unfortunately.
So it's 3 dice for the walkers because there's only 2 of them.
Yep.
So go on the aim roll wherever you want.
So she get blank. She's gone.
2 with a bite, they kill her.
But she went out fighting.
She did go out swinging.
We can take that.
Right then, so Carl is against the walker. He's going to roll defense. So he's got 2 red dice here. He's looking for defense. He gets a 1.
Blank.
Right, so he shoves Johnny Rotten away and goes, get out of my face.
Yeah, pushing him back down into the water.
Basically, the only important character left in the game now, Dale, is left. He kills it.
He always does.
I tell you what, and this is just me adding in because it's YouTube. With Negan being tied up, I don't like the idea of you being robbed an activation. I mean, I've got priority next anyway. So what I'm going to say is these walkers, because you basically fought them anyway.
You're a gentleman.
In any other situation, you would have shot first, seen the damage, and then gone with Negan. So I'm not going to have them tied in.
Oh, thank you very much.
So we'll go to the end phase, see what stands up, and we'll be back in a second. And this is the picture at the end of the turn. There is a absolutely massive horde of walkers kind of chasing after Dale and Clem as they kind of panic run across.
See, you say they're chasing after Dale, I see them as a barrier for me.
Yeah,
so
essentially Negan not being able to cross the river with the child is a nightmare for you now. You've got to get across that kind of pallet. Luckily Negan is the one man that you want to get stuck in with all the dice that he's rolling.
Yeah, but he's down to 2 wounds as well, let's not forget.
Yeah, he's not happy. Carl is there to play bodyguard, I think, at this stage. He's going to freak out next turn, so he might end up getting himself smushed. So we'll see how we get on as we go to the first activation next turn, which will be Dale's crew. First activation for me then, Dale is just going to continue with primary objective. So he's going to make a 6-inch sprint because he's got Clem with him, which gets him just to this position here. Going like, we're almost there.
Yeah,
just
you are as well.
Don't die. He is... Actually, no, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and lower the threat because I'm a tactician.
Yeah.
So I'm going to automatically lower the threat to 13.
Clever idea.
Then I'm going to sprint, which will pull the attention of this walker.
Yeah.
That is a far more sensible use of my time.
Okay, so for Negan then, I'm actually going to try and do the reverse to what you might
You're just
expect.
completely ignoring the rules at this
I know,
stage.
well, I'm the bad guys. Since when do bad guys play to
Can you
the
imagine
rules?
Negan trying to be the babysitter? Just come here, child.
I don't think Negan is the most unethically suited man to this job in the entire game.
Didn't he used to be like a sports coach, like in the prequel stuff, though,
believe he
anyway?
did,
So maybe he'd be like, I'll teach you how to play netballs, I feel.
Well, he's got his baseball bat for it, hasn't he? So he's going to creep to here, and we're going to search basically, and hope we don't get anything too bad.
Obviously, you're taking the child with you.
Of course I am. I'm not just leaving her there to die. And we draw the old gun.
Oh, Negan with the gun.
Here we go.
So you can take that supply token as well.
Right, so that's my second one.
That's the second one Negan's picked up, isn't it?
It is.
So actually, we're heading towards high threat. We're heading towards the end of the game. If I don't get the child off the corner of the board, which is slow to do, you're going to win.
Yes.
Because you've got more supply.
Yes. Which will be that's what, tertiary objective there?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So Carl might have to do a bit of a backtrack here. We'll see what he does next. Okay, Carl is up first. He's going to see if he can hold his nerve. He doesn't, to try and lower the threat. Luckily, we're still in medium, so he doesn't freak out yet. He's going to try and sprint. Now, unfortunately, he's got across the river, so he's going at half pace. So his 8-inch sprint will go down to 4, which gets him to the other side of the river, but near the token. However, it does make noise, so Johnny Rotten will come to inspect what chaos he is causing. That's all of the activations now.
It is.
So we'll go to the event phase and see what that has in store for us. Oh, well, this is a grandstand finish now. You've got this gun. I'm quite worried about this. So,
well, to be honest, the gun for me, I just want to try and get the threat up
you
more
do,
than anything.
yeah. If you can get the threat up really, really quickly through these last couple of levels, I think Dale is the only one who's going to help here by constantly lowering it. But I've got to rely on the event card. So, speaking of which, what have we got here?
Right, so taking the top of the pile, we get +1 to the threat and the hunger. So
that knocks us into high threat now.
It does. And we were in high threat before as well, and we came back down.
Yeah, Dale calmed it down.
We got pushed back up there. So it's as medium threat, which was each player rolls a blue dice and moves that many eligible walkers towards the nearest survivor, but then in addition all prone walkers immediately stand up.
Right, so blue dice each, because each player rolls one. So I get to roll 3.
Ooh.
And you get 3.
A lot of walkers moving.
So I've got initiative, so I will start, and we'll move those and get the prone walker up as well. Right, we did just check. We did put the walkers in the kill zones, then did the movements, and Negan had 2 engaging him already, but you can see he is in the worst possible place now.
Do you ever wish you'd taken a leather jacket?
I still got a leather jacket on Carl with his one issue that he's got, but Dale's had a load of walkers try and cross the bridge to chase him. You sensibly did that. I just piled everyone into Negan, because if I can wipe Negan off the board,
it's essentially game for
you've got no supply tokens, have you? So we will go to the melee phase. We're on +1. We're on level 15, I believe, now. And I think I've got initiative, but I'm just going to start with Negan, because let's see if he survives this. How many dice is this then? Have you just done the maths for this?
Right, you have 19, Tom.
19. You can defend if you want, there's no point.
No, there's absolutely no point.
If you roll crits, though, you could go on a crit train.
That's true. That is true, which is my only hope here, isn't it, with Lucille? So come on, Negan, let's see what you get. So with his first one, we're not going on that crit train.
Right, so usually I always forget this rule with the walkers that they're like, afterwards they're adding 5 each time. We don't really have dice rolling space for this, so I'm just gonna just roll it into my hand. Okay, let's just do the math. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage?
Yep, so 9 go through there, and that is Negan.
That's definitely.
I think it would be safe to say that I know the child is only a token, but the child has also perished there amongst all of those bites.
Sophia is just going to be. So he'll become a prone walker, Negan. As this all gets pushed in, I've not got the most suitable Negan miniature, but this guy's got a white t-shirt, so we'll just do that there. Sophia is going to just cry her eyes out now.
You know when I took that old gun there, I was actually thinking it was in a relatively safe position as well.
Well, speaking of which, you will confetti both of your tokens. We'll find room for those in a second, but that is horrendous.
It is.
Over to me then. We're going to keep on going because there is a chance potentially that I can't make this, so we're going to keep going anyway. So
I still think you will do, but
the odds are in my favour here. So we're going to start with Carl. He's just going to defend against Johnny Rotten. So 2 red dice. 1. So that's a draw. I've deliberately kept Carl away from enemy survivors, so I haven't had to deal with a lot of his super nasty issues.
He's done well though, Carl.
He has done pretty well actually. He's not been bad at all. So I am going to. Do you know one thing I have realised with Carl's card actually? earlier on, it did roll a headshot, and he ignores a headshot that he rolls on shoot actions. I've just read that, but so I wouldn't have lost my ammo, or maybe I would have.
No, true.
Doesn't matter in any way because we
Because
don't
I've
think
got
of
one
these things. Dale, 3 white dice.
Blank.
Doesn't kill it, but chucks Walker Shane away and
Says, go away, Shane.
knocks him down to the ground. So we will go to the end phase. Your little girl's going to scream and just basically pull in all of those walkers, and we're just going to see if I can get off the board. Okay, as we go to the end phase, we're going to stick with this side on shot, and we're just going to kind of play through the last bit just to see if I can get off the board. So all the walkers are stood up apart from Walker Negan.
Yep.
Sophia has made noise and cried into her sleep a little bit. So we're going to go straight to me. So Carl, interestingly, you couldn't have held his nerve last time around. He's got so much information on his card.
Yes.
It's horrendous.
It's the one that came with the Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Moe, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got... I just need to learn to use these rules a bit more. But he can re-roll the panic dice. So he's going to panic. He's got berserk. He's fine.
That's exactly what you want, really.
He adds 1 to the threat, though, which makes life a little bit tricky for me. Dale is going to hold his nerve and reduce it by 1 to put it down to 15
that
for
makes
his
sense.
activation. He's going to make a 6-inch run because he's peg-legged, which will take him to this position here. One thing I did forget to do with Carl's to search that
I was
supply
going to
token.
say, I was waiting for you to do that.
But to be honest, I think at this stage I don't want to do anything that will possibly cause mayhem, and I know there's grenades and stuff in there.
Would a grenade add at least 1 to the threat?
It would, it creates mayhem where it is. So we're currently on 15 and I'm alright managing that there. So an event card, I'm going to let you do all this, mate, because technically you've got priority, so...
So, with that, do you know, you'll be pleased with nothing going on to the threat. It is Feeding Frenzy. We're on high threat, which is as medium. Medium is as low. Roll a black dice for each survivor engaged in melee. On a star, the model loses 1 health point.
So Dale's only on 2 HP, so on a star he loses a health point. No,
safe.
He's okay.
Lovely. And then, in addition, each player rolls blue dice and moves that many eligible walkers. So,
Well, one thing we should have done as well, because we're at the start of the end phase, that Johnny Rotten would go back into Carl there, so he's engaged. So we each roll a blue and move that many eligible walkers.
Yeah.
2. Towards the nearest survivor, or just move them?
What does it say? It does say towards the nearest survivor. So,
Well, you go first because you have priority technically here.
gang up on Carl. Can that one move through that bit of a tumbleweed?
Yeah, you'd be fine. A little bit of gruff. I'm going to move this walker towards Carl because it's a mile line.
What a big significant movement that is. Have you got
You've got
Shamble?
one more.
Thank you. Who are we going to move? Might just move this one in the right kind of... Can that one...
I mean, can Shane get... Shane can't really get to Dale, can
Nah. I'd rather
You're
kill
just
Carl.
going to kill Carl.
I'd rather kill Carl. I know he's got his lucky hat, but we'll try and kill it.
I'll do the redundant one of moving this one towards Dale.
Sweet.
Poor Sophia is just...
Do you know what I feel so sorry for? Because one, she was lumbered with the villains anyway, which is just not what a child wants, and now she's surrounded by all these walkers.
This is it, you need to be a good guy and go Clementine. I need Mantic to get the license to do the older Clementine, because in the game she's stupidly good.
Yeah.
Right, combat then, so we go up to 16.
Yep.
This is so much easier for my editing, like we should just do this side up. Right, Carl has got many dice going against him, so you've got 6 dice going against him.
Yep.
He's going to defend with his 2 red dice. So he manages to get... So you got all the space in the world there. So you've got 4. Carl gets 1. But he's going to use his leather jacket to ignore all of the
It's worth
damage.
saving it for those 1 wounds that he did take before.
Cheesy Carl technology there. Right, Dale has got 1 walker to face off with. He's got 3 white dice in his melee thanks to his felling axe. He gets 3. He beats it. Knocks it down. And that will take us to the end phase, and I'm pretty certain in the end phase, Dale with Clem sprints off.
There he goes.
Leaves Carl to die like the hero he is. Carl might come back and save Sophia.
Do you know what? Ethically, he should.
But realistically, he's a vengeful son. He's defiant. He doesn't really care.
Carl from the early comics probably would have done, but not this guy.
So I've eked out the win. Handshake on camera. Good game, and we'll go to the post-game summary. I think that's one of my new favourite scenarios.
It was so good to play.
Like, we were playing through it, we said, like, if we didn't have the camera, it'd actually be a really speedy scenario, because there's first activations that just moving into position. I think the whole game turned on when Rick started to fire his gun.
It did. See, I went very unethical. I almost stopped playing the game at one point, though, and just decided I'd just try and either go after you or go after supplies. But, like you say, I bet you could have that done in under an hour on your own.
I think we had, like, a tea break halfway through, and it's at that point we were like, Neither of us look like we're going to get across the board. Neither of us are going to there get the secondary token either. So it's like, we need to get some supplies. And I was like, who's got supplies? You've got one, I've got none. So there's a bit of a mad scramble near the end, but I think realistically, I don't know, there's a lot of walkers.
There was a lot of walkers. We started with 17.
And we drew cars and just
The Walking Dead came up. Did that come up twice? It only came up once. We also had Drawn to Chaos, which brought 8 walkers on in one event phase, which is massive.
I think that shooting that swamped them all on the bridge, Dale managing to kind of sneak around the back and then leg it was absolutely
You almost had at one stage, I know you said on camera they were following you, but to me it felt like they were a shield around you, really.
And I think it was that kind of activation where Rick sprinted ahead, just didn't get caught, then shot, then brought the mayhem. But really good. Let us know if at home you're going to have a go with that scenario and how you get on. I think I definitely said to you afterwards, you had to play the saviours that we didn't use last time. Every time if you're using saviours, you use Tara against walkers. Tara rinses walkers.
That would have buffed up so much, wouldn't it, every time she'd made a
She'd
kill.
impress Negan every single time, and she'd be clearing the way for somebody else to kind of hold on to. I think if you have Dwight and he's holding on to the kid, you're usually getting out. I mean, you could
Negan was unimpressed in that scenario, wasn't he? He never got impressed
Negan
at
didn't
once.
get impressed at all. But I think, again, you could be really clever with it, that you could have someone who's got nimble take the kid's hand. So if they get tied up, you can dodge that extra inch further forward across the map. So someone like Glenn or Sandra might
Glenn
be
would be perfect, actually, wouldn't he?
I must admit, those 3 that I used, oh my god, they are complex. Like Carl, every time I read his card, there was something else that I had to take into account of. But Dale, with his prosthetic leg, is great.
I think Dale was. I know he was best in terms of getting the character off the board, but he was really strong as well because did he have 3 white dice?
The felling axe is fantastic for a combat character, and the ability to have the prosthetic leg take blue dice worth of damage away meant that I could just be like, he'll take the damage this time, he'll take damage this time. Negan went down to a mountain of walkers.
You see, Negan, I was so disappointed when he took the heavy hit off Rick's pistol right at the start of the game, because if that hadn't happened, it'd have been utilised so much better, but it's the world we live in with The Walking Dead.
You guys have to let us know at home if you're the same, that as soon as someone gets bitten, do you just go like full on cavalier and just go, well, they've got nothing to live for now. They might easily survive, but no, it's like that, they're going to kill everything. As always, we'll put an image at the top, but if you want to play a scenario at home, the link is in the description down below, and let us know what you think of it. Thank you again, and thank you again.
Pleasure.
Take care. Hi guys, thank you very much for watching our content. It means the world to us. If you'd like to see some more videos, they should be over here. And if you'd like to support our channel, keep these lights on. You can find links to our Patreon and merchandise in the description below. See you later.